Welcome to the lesson on graphing a line when given an equation in slope-intercept form. For each problem on the page, we are going to graph a line based on the equation we've been given in slope-intercept form. We know the slope in any slope-intercept form equation indicates the rise and the run. And of course, the constant is your b-value. Once we get those two critical pieces of information, we will be able to graph a line. Let's take a look at each equation. We know the slope is the coefficient in front of x. Positive 4 for number 1, positive 2 for number 2, and 1/2 for number 3. And our intercept is the constant. For example, -1 is our anchor intercept. That will be our b value there. Positive 3 will be our anchor intercept, and -1 will be our b value or our intercept. Let's look at the slope though a bit more closely for each of these. We know in number 1 the slope is 4, but think of it as a ratio, 4/1, which means we're going to rise up 4 and run to the right 1. If you take a look at number 2, please record all of these notes. It's a positive 2. As a ratio, rise over run, or delta y over delta x, we're going to rise up 2 and run 1. And lastly, for number 3, it's already in ratio form. We are going to rise up 1 and run to the right 2. Let's begin. Let's take a look at our y-intercept, our anchor point, and that of course is going to lie on the y-axis. Let's start with number 3. You can complete number 1 and number 2 based on what you see as we complete number 3 together. Here we go. We know our intercept, our anchor point on the y-axis is -1. So on the y-axis, make a nice anchor point at -1. From that anchor point, we are going to rise up 1 and run to the right 2. Here we go. Up 1 over 2. That is a solution for that equation. Darken the point. Do it again. Up 1 over 2. Darken the point there. 4, 1 is the solution for this equation. And if we had a little bit more coordinate plane, we would go up 1 over 2. Now, let's reverse the pattern and continue the line in the other direction. Place your pencil point back on the anchor point, -1, and reverse the process. Go over 2, down 1. Put a nice solid dot. -2, -2 is also a solution to this equation. And one more time, over 2, down 1. Grab a ruler and connect up all the points. Make a nice sweeping line, and on each end of your line, place arrowheads, because we know the solutions go on and on forever. The final touch to this line of solutions, write the equation above or below to label the line. You're done. Once again, a nice straight connection with arrowheads at each end, and label with the equation. Go ahead and try number 1 and number 2. For number 1, your anchor point will be here at -1. And for number 2, your anchor point will be here at +3. Once you run out of coordinate plane in one direction, finish the pattern going in the other direction. Let's start number 1 together. In this case, with your anchor point, put your pencil on -1. Go up 4 blocks over 1 and make a nice dot. Now, we can't continue. We're out of coordinate plane. So let's reverse it. Put your pencil point back on the anchor point, -1, on the y-axis and reverse it. Go over 1, down 1, 2, 3, 4. So you make that staircase effect. Once you're ready, connect your points with a sweeping line. Make sure you place arrowheads on each end of the line. This is quite a steep pitch. And label the equation above or below the line. Go ahead and complete number 2 on your own. Pause the video, then turn it back on when you're ready to see the correct answer. Your line should have done this. Each time, starting at the anchor point of 3, you should have gone up 2, over 1, and we run out of coordinate plane. So we reverse it. Go back to the anchor point and go over 1, down 2, over 1, down 2, and continue all the way to the edge of the coordinate plane. You can see the solutions for this particular equation are lining up quite nicely. Grab your ruler and draw a nice sweeping line through each point. Label the ends of the line with arrowheads to indicate that this goes on and on forever, that there are an infinite number of solutions. We've just highlighted a few here with our dots. Finally, wrap it up by labeling the equation above or below the line. Go ahead and move on to the next page, where you will encounter some negative slopes.